Hello everyone, Joe here, and I found myself this little spot on the side of the road. We're gonna stay the night up here in Idaho. Not my favorite thing to pull into somewhere in the middle of the night just because you may not be able to see the spot that you're getting into, all that fun stuff. So we're gonna do some exploring tomorrow right next to where I'm at. And to boot, right when I pulled in here, my TPMS light came on. So there's that. All right, good morning, everyone. We are here at Elephant Hunters. We are going to start our day with the first thing being exploring a cave. So I've got my headlamp here so that we can get in there, see what the heck it is we're doing. This is just west of Idaho Falls, and it's about 20 minutes from the middle of town to get here. We do have a few things on the agenda, including a train show. So we are going to see some model trains and see if we can even rail fan and see some full-size trains. Let's get to it. All right, let's get down in here. Not a bad size opening. Easily fit in here. Let's go. Oh, crap, I gotta get my headlamp on. Oh, wow. Cave really opens up in here. Graffiti everywhere. But this is pretty decent sized. I can't even tell how deep it goes in here. One of the things with caves, you gotta watch your head. So I'm looking down to see where I'm stepping, looking up, making sure I'm not smacking my noggin. I can't see anything back there. I gotta get my light focus. This is wild. I don't know how well this will show up on camera. I had to change my beam width on this light so that you could see more of what I'm seeing. But with a beam that comes out like this, it's kind of hard to see around without the wide beam. I think I was expecting it to be cooler in here, like colder. It was 40 degrees last night, and it was pretty chilly, but it doesn't feel like it's just crazy cold in here. I gotta watch my step every step of the way. There's a lot of broken glass and bottles and stuff down here. And I actually don't know how far I'm going to end up going in this cave. Apparently, a while back, part of the cave collapsed back there. And so you can't go near as deep as you used to be able to. But I gotta say, one of the things that's really, really wild about being down here right now is that normally, if I've been into a cave before, it's with a group of people. There's all sorts of chatter, laughter, all that fun stuff. This is really, really eerie being down here just by myself. I couldn't imagine if you were like a cave explorer or something, having to, going through all of this just by yourself is it's wild. All right, I'm gonna go down just a little bit further around that rock. See if that's where the end of the cave is or not. It actually goes pretty deep down there. Makes me a little nervous. All right, I made it back to the second opening in the cave. It got a little bit shorter for a minute, and it's another big opening. I really have no idea how far into this cave I am, but the graffiti just continues throughout, along with trash on the ground and whatnot. It'll be interesting, thousands of years from now. All this is still going to be here, so how it's reflected upon years and years and years from now. But on a lighter note, I'm going to get out of here. Let's go check out some other stuff in town, like the train show that's going on. And I'm going to try to catch that full-size train. I'm excited. I like to rail fan and see those things go by. So we're going to make our way out of the dark and slightly creepy cave. Let's go. All right, there is the entrance to the cave, right where that dirt's going down. And what's really interesting is you drive right over the cave, right here on the dirt road, to be able to park where I park. And it makes sense that, a lot of dirt, a lot of rock, etc., is able to hold up a vehicle. But one of the things pulling in late last night, I parked right next to all of this. Didn't even know it. It's one of those that not my favorite thing to pull in somewhere late at night, but it is what it is, and I guess that's a risk that I took. But this spot right here is really not that bad, right along this fence line on the backside, and made for a nice evening. All right, let's head into town. One thing I forgot to mention until just now when getting in the car, firing up, etc., is that I forgot to mention my TPS light is no longer on. It's done that once before where it kicked on, and so we stopped, and I didn't have a pressure gauge with me. I had to run back into town, hoping that my tire wasn't going to be totally flat when we got there. It looked okay. We stopped multiple times, and it looked fine, and so I bought the pressure gauge, and so last night I checked it. It was okay. This morning, the light's off. The tires are good. So I probably just need a TPMS refresher kit, I think is what they call it, where they put in the new batteries, etc. But that'll probably have to be a project for another day. So we are here inside the Railshow 2022. I'm joined by Jim, who has graciously agreed to talk a little bit about the show. He knows a lot about what's going on in here, a lot of the, whether it be the vendors or the HO, N scale, S scale, all that fun stuff. So what is it that you do with the group here? And then let's talk about the show itself.
Well, I've been the president of the Eagle Rock Railroad Historical Society, Incorporated, for a short time, actually. But what we do, we sponsored every year. We did have a break for the COVID season, but every year we've had this where we brought in vendors. We have all kinds of groups that join us. The Lego groups have trains, and just about every part of the Model Railroad Society comes in there. Some are vendors and they sell things that people want. We have displays for the kids. Our club actually meets downstairs in the Idaho Falls Recreation Center every Thursday night about 7:30. And we have a group of almost 25 to 30 members currently active. A lot of our layout down there depicts the early Eagle Rock, which today is known as Idaho Falls. A lot of people don't even know that, but we are there.
Now, is that something, and we'll take a look at the basement here at some point, but is that something that anybody can just bring their HO train, or is that something that you kind of have to be part of a club to be?
Well, all the club members come in and everyone contributes. A lot of what we do is we're working on it to make sure it's running properly. People come up with wonderful ideas and to put another piece of Idaho Falls in there. A lot of the times, if you look at it and you go back to the old drawings and diagrams and things of where things were, you go, oh yeah, I recognize that because that's now the new museum. It used to be the library. Most of this is really for the train enthusiast and the kids. We have a couple of things. We have one, the kids love the Lego trains, okay? They really do. And we have several of the working layouts here of just trains going around. Fellow behind us over here has a whole group of things from Thomas the Tank Engines. And even, for the little toddlers, the ones that they can just push with their hands, they like that. We even have one that's behind you that's a switching challenge that little older, in between, 10 years, 12 years old, they get to see if they can move a switch engine and move the cars back where they're supposed to be, back and forth. So,
oh yeah, all that hands-on stuff is really important for
Sure.
getting everyone involved and making sure that
and part of the education things we have, it's like a scavenger hunt down in our layout downstairs, where you can find, oh, hey, here's a boxcar that's got a couple of hobos living in it, or something like that, and they just check it off as they go through and find it. This is a tank car, or this is a steam engine, or whatever it may be, and all you have to do is look and find them. There's even a Where's Waldo down there someplace. He keeps moving around. I can't find him half the time.
Oh yeah, that's, as we were talking about with the historically accurate things, as you go around to all the layouts, whether it be downstairs or up here, I see just the attention to detail to how a rail line actually is really impressive to me. You guys put a lot of effort in downstairs. The clubs that bring their layouts,
It's a labor of love, really.
Oh, it is, and it's many years.
We're train enthusiasts from probably our childhood ages and stuff like that. So we enjoy it. We really do.
Oh yeah, I had somebody tell me one time that not every, but a lot of the little kids, they love the trains and whatnot, and they either continue to have a passion for trains as they get older, or it kind of fades a little bit, and then they might come back to trains. Yeah. But either way, there's plenty of train scales to be able to.
Absolutely, you have from the large scale, which is G size, all the way down to the tiny TT gauge. Those are really small. You can have a train inside of a briefcase.
Well, that's one of the challenges or something, isn't that? A briefcase train. Now, if I have a layout at home, for example, or I have, let's say, a club from whether it be out of state or near to the Idaho Falls area, how do they go about, whether it be contacting this organization here to be able to display, or joining
Sure.
other clubs?
We have a Facebook page. If you just go in there and look for Eagle Rock Railroad Historical Society, it'll come up, and we've got some pictures we have taken of our show here, and explanations of when we meet and where we're going to be at. We're at the Idaho Falls Recreation Center in the basement, below the basketball courts and all the other things that the rec center has.
Cool. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And we'll be back for next year, for sure.
Thank you. Good.
Falls, but it's set in like 1950-ish, so not in the modern day. Not all these buildings did exist, but we did our best to try and get an general idea what was there. Like, this is what is now Twisborough Music Store approximately, to try and get you a general idea of where things are at. I don't remember the street names here, but not many of these buildings that were here in real life do no longer exist. This little building we have right here, Casey's Barbershop, a cool fact about that is it's called because one of our members, Casey, owned a barbershop before he worked with the F&N Railroad. He retired, I want to say 12 years ago, I think he said. And then, yeah. And over here, in the red brick building with the white pillars, is what was the Idaho Falls Public Library, now the Museum of Idaho. Try and picture things. And then over there is what was the Idaho Falls train station, but as trains are no longer commonly used as a mode of transportation, it was torn down. And then Idaho Falls actually used to be called Eagle Rock until, I don't remember when, but that's why on our name tags it says the Eagle Rock Historical Society, because we named it after the club after the town, or the original name of the town. So yeah, this whole big layout is what's known as HO scale. It's a common favorite because it's easier to work with than the smaller scales. N scale is what we have over there, which is another really common one because you can do a lot more in a smaller area. There is what is known as Z scale, but it's not much bigger than that, so it's quite hard to work with. As you read, there is a little kind of diagram with the various sizes of trains to kind of show you what things are. So, yeah.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Well, out here, when I pulled up, Union Pacific number 1641 had its lights on. Yesterday, they were doing some operations down this line. I don't know if it was back and forth or what it was, but they are not on this line today. There's actually a derail sign over here. They turned off their lights, 30 seconds or whatever after I showed up. So I don't think we're going to get any full-size trains coming through today. Possibly later, but I think that's going to be it. So make sure to hit that subscribe button so you can join us on all of our adventures, and we'll catch you in another video. See ya.